Okay, so I have another layout planning now, and it's going to be some. Sorry if you hear my dogs in the background, they're playing. Anyway, so I have some pictures here that I know I'm going to use for this layout, and it's kind of when my husband and I went to Arcadia National Park, right? I think that's what's up there in Maine. And also, we went to these botanical gardens or this gardens in Maine that had these really cool wooden statues there. So as I've been planning all my other Maine layouts, as I was working on them, as I was looking through all my materials, I knew I started pulling aside some things that I would maybe possibly use for this layout. Kind of already knowing that it was kind of woodsy and naturey, I came across these when I was at Michael's, so I got those. Then I found these stamps too in my collection, and then also this one. I think this went with this. Yeah, I think this was when I bought this collection from Studio Calico years ago. It was these came together. So yeah, gonna use probably those. And this card, was the back from the last layout that I did, and I like the green, how it may work as well for this layout. This green tag that I found, and then this little card that says "I'm fond of you." I thought it was so cute to go with this layout. Since it's very woodsy, I was kind of going to stick with that theme for this layout. And with all these photos, this is probably going to end up being a 2-page spread, just because. So the photos, and I may end up going back and looking through my photos to see if there's anything else I want to add from those 2 days that we went to those different locations. So I'm going to do the back of the last layout that we did, and most likely, I think, put the Arcadia ones here. And then, of course, these over here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Haven't planned that all out as well. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to kind of maybe go look back through my photos to see if there's any more photos that maybe I can use to fill in, maybe in one of these smaller pocket squares here. As well, and maybe here too. I don't know. I might load this one up more with photos and less embellishments or cards. But I know I do have journaling I want to say about this layout, just because this was this location was such an interesting find and a really cool thing. I want to talk about that, and of course, probably maybe some more photos from the national park. Okay, so I did get some more photos from Acadia National Park, not Arcadia. Um, and so I just got those quickly developed at CVS. And here I'm just kind of arranging them, and I'm going to cut down that one there in the middle to be a, was it 4x3 card size? And then I also, the pictures with the trolls, that is from Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens. It's in the Booth Bay area. It was a really cool place that we found. Um, so yeah, I'm just going to kind of quickly go through here and find stuff that will work for this layout. So yeah, I'm just going to trim down like that picture that I said there of myself standing out there on the rocks. Um, and trim it down here and just kind of start arranging this layout of where I want photos to be and whatnot. I think, yeah, this is going to be pretty much my page once I get these photos. Okay, so I went through my stash of cards and stuff, and I found these different ones that would work. Um, I was kind of going with the green and blues colors here for this layout. The right side more green, and then on the left side more blues to kind of pull out the water, and obviously the green for the forest stuff. So like I said earlier, I had those stickers that came with that Studio Cal kit from many years ago, and I'm gonna use that one label sticker there that had the phrase about something about being under the sun. And I thought it would go great with this photo of my husband and I there in Acadia National Park there. And then I was going to use that leaf stamp here that's on this stamp set. And I noticed that it has like the veins of the leaf and then also the leaf itself. So as I was stamping, I came up with the idea of maybe I emboss the veins so they kind of pop out on the thing. And then first, I didn't realize, I don't know what I was thinking. I stamped the veins here, which it's fine. It works out. It kind of gave me an idea later on where I want to put the veins when I do embossing. But I meant to stamp out the leaf here, which I'm going to do now. Um, so just stamping it in black. I thought about maybe, you'll see later on, I will emboss the veins of the leaf, but I was debating too later on if I wanted to do black or gold for the veins. So then, yeah, I'm gonna pull that sticker here and put it, label it, lay it down there on that photo. Just kind of fussing with it so it was straight, or at least to my eyes was straight. And then also I am going to now add, what do I do next? I think I was debating what to do with that tag card there. I knew I wanted to use it somehow. I just couldn't figure out how yet. So I'm going to use these gold leaves just to embellish that card there that says "Go where you feel most alive," and just giving that card some accents with these little gold leaves. And then I'm going to jump in. I had found those word phrases here, gold word phrases here. I think, oh gosh, they're either Heidi Swapp or Ali Edwards. I can't quite remember off the top of my head right now. But I decided to go with the word fabulous, and that's all I'm going to put in that card there. I thought about maybe embellishing it and giving it some more of the gold leaves, but I like it just fabulous right there because that place was fabulous. Where we saw those giant troll structures. So now I'm just also pulling out some more embellishments maybe that I could use. I thought maybe they're briefly adding the pretty fabulous, but I decided just to go with the word fabulous. I have these Pebbles stickers here, label stickers that maybe I could use. These gold camera stickers that came from a recent Studio Calico purchase, or at least within the last year it's purchase. Now I'm jumping back to that kind of that card there on the left, and I knew I wanted to use this tag. So I decided maybe I'll cut out this tag here and maybe do some journaling on it. I wasn't sure, and then put it as centered of in that card where there with those green and blue little painted or watercolor dots. But I decided to change that idea, and I'm just going to kind of make a cluster embellishment here in that card. So that's why I cut down that tag some. And I'm going to quickly pull out my hole punch and just punch a hole through that tag. And also because I have that other little gold tag, you can kind of see down there on the bottom left-hand corner next to my hand, that I'm also going to use on this to embellish. I'm just going to cut off that white strip there. Add this on to here as well. And now I'm going to pull off some of these stickers that I have of hearts and kind of just add a little black cluster, this tan one that kind of, and then I found this little, what is this, bluish, aqua blue color. And then I have this little love chipboard sticker too that I thought to add to this little cluster here. So yeah, I'm just going to add those onto that little card cluster there, and that pretty much is going to be it for that little pocket there. And now I'm going to move on to cleaning up a little bit as I move along. I'm deciding here if I'm going to use that top 10, because I would say this was a top 10 place that we have visited as a couple, but I changed my mind. So I knew I wanted to add some type of labeling to those photos. So I'm gonna see if I can do something with these chipboard, gold chipboard cameras, and I'm gonna pull out, first off, I was trying to figure out which camera I want to use, and then I'm gonna pull out some of my stash of uh, just like scraps that I have. So I'm just trying to figure out where I wanted to put this little camera on here. I'm gonna end up deciding to put it up there with the trolls, just because I felt like already I didn't feel like there was enough embellishments on that side here. So I put it down, but I didn't like it, so I was figuring out maybe I could do a label. So actually I pulled it scrap. I think that was cut off from the tag earlier that I trimmed out. And yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of give that like a little background matting of behind the. So also I'm gonna pull out some scraps here that I had sitting in there. I have this vellum geo tag that I printed out a while back when I was gonna put in another layout, I think at the beginning of Maine. Also, I found this little strip here of like a checkerboard with blue lines, and I thought about adding this for just a little tag here to go on this picture here at Acadia. I thought about maybe adding one of the stickers here, which I do use this green one. And then I was looking at the stamps there too in that set, and I liked the phrase here, but then I realized it was too long. And I thought about maybe if there was a way I could um, make it fit on there, adding the back, or looking to see if there was another strip that I could use that was a little bit longer. But what I end up doing, you'll see in a moment, is that I stamp part of the ink part of the stamp and turn it into two lines here. So as you can see, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of trying to test it out, see which one would fit. Kind of just cleaning off the stamp here to make sure that I don't stamp onto my picture and not just onto the card. So there, I stamped one side, just kind of cleaning it off again. And now I'm going to do the second half of that phrase and put it on there. And it's just a little phrase that says something about adventure in there. And then I'll just add that puffy sticker back of a leaf. And there we go. Now I'm just going to come here quickly and emboss now the little leaf that I had done earlier. And like I said earlier, I was debating between my red, or my red, not my red, my black or gold um, embossing powder. And I think I end up deciding going with the gold. I thought it would stand out more than just doing the black embossing powder. So I'm just quickly grabbing right now my embossing powders. And as you can see there, there's the gold and there's the black, just debating. And now I'm just going to quickly put a little bit on of the gold, shake it off and dust it off a little bit and heat it up. So I will say this, I really like how this layout comes out in the end. I think the colors are really cohesive throughout the whole entire page from both sides. This isn't really a two-page spread. I just was working on two pages at once, I guess you can say. It is part of the section in my album from 2024 of traveling to Maine. So, but that's over several pages there. So now I was quickly going to do my title here, and after some quick brainstorming through AI and my husband, I decided to come up with two different titles here. So, like I said, this is a two-page spread in that I was working on. However, they are individual pages. So I'm just going to end up doing Acadia over here. I was really wanting to try maybe finding some bigger blue that I have that would work. I do have some like a navy glittery blue, but I was really kind of hoping to find more if I had a letter stickers that were
more of that blue of the water, but I didn't. As you can see, this one that's I have from like Hobby Lobby of glittery cardstock, I didn't have enough letters. I didn't have all the letters I needed for this. So I'm going to put that to the side for Acadia, and I'm going to go to doing the title for the troll page. And am going to end up using these Dear Lizzie stickers, letter stickers. I think I just recently purchased those from like, or within this past year from the Paper Source, I think it's called. Is that the store called? Anyways, so just adding a little bit more double-sided tape behind them because as you can see, they were a little bit difficult to pull off, but then at the same time, they didn't feel sticky enough. Because how many times are we going back and looking at layouts and you see the lettering has fallen off? So I'm just going to put the letter here, and this one title is called Trolling Through the Gardens. Since obviously we were in the botanical gardens there and we saw a bunch of trolls. So just kind of a little pun, play on words. And as I'm laying these down, I will say, this will pretty much be the last thing I do besides adding my journaling, which I will do off camera. And I just talk about my journaling. You'll see later on when I do show the finished page, I do the journaling for this trolls page on that green and striped card. And then I will do the journaling for Acadia, as you can't see right now, but it's on that blue card that I already had. That was a journaling card already there. I do date stamp on the trolls one. However, I do write out my date on the Acadia one. So just kind of finishing up the gardens here. I kind of just made it centered. It is kind of a long title within this title card, but I like it. It doesn't bother me, even though I feel like I have two cards in here that are very prominent with words. I think in the end it does work because um, those troll photos are just give off a gigantic feel since they were so large. Um, so yeah, just gonna quickly finish adding my journaling here, or these titles here, and I will finish up this page with my journaling. So I thank you for watching. I hope to have some more videos for you to come. I'm just counting right now, actually, seeing, making sure I knew what letters, how many letters there were in these words to kind of figure out the center. Again, I just eyeball stuff. I not too particular about making sure it's perfect in the center, but so eyeballing it. Anyways, so thanks for watching. I hope to see you again next time and like and subscribe.